everyone, welcome back to our live cooking session today. Okay, so today we will be doing a pan-fried chicken rice burger. Okay, so we will just wait for a little while before more viewers come in. Okay, hello Jolene. Okay, so for those of you who have watched our previous live session, you would know that we are currently on a patty party. Okay, because on Saturday I actually did a beef pork patty. Okay, and yesterday Jolene did a tuna, which is a fish patty. Okay, but today I'll be doing a chicken patty. Okay, so it's all about variety. Okay, the same type of food can make use of different ingredients, and that's all. That's what healthy eating is all about. It's always about a variety of the different ingredients that you can incorporate into your dishes. Alright, so we'll just wait for maybe just about 30 more seconds before we start. Okay. Alright, so my name is Rachel and I'm a nutritionist from minced. Okay, so today I'll be doing a healthier burger. Okay, using chicken patty but with an Asian twist. We're not gonna use burger buns made from bread, but we're gonna use rice instead. Okay, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the different types of rice that you may be using right at home. Okay, hello Stephanie. Okay, hi Blurberry Ming. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the ingredients needed for today's recipe is really simple. Okay, so today, of course, one of our key ingredients here would actually be our rice. Okay, so today we're actually choosing to use a blend, okay, of our short grain white rice, okay, as well as our brown rice, okay, which I'll talk a little bit about it later on. Okay, so we have, so is it like Moss Burger? Yeah, you can say so. It's a little bit like Moss Burger's rice burger. Okay, so there are two main steps to this. So first, let's prepare the rice. Okay, and later on, we'll prepare the chicken patty. Okay, so to prepare the rice, it's really simple. Just let me put on my gloves first. Okay, so hello for those of you who have just joined us. Today, we're actually making a grilled or pan-fried chicken patty rice burger. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about the different types of rice that you can commonly use at home as well. Okay, so here, okay, because I couldn't find the short grain brown rice in the supermarket, so I actually modified a little bit. What I'm using here is actually 50% of my short grain white rice, okay, which are those that you typically use for your sushi, okay, or in those Japanese restaurants. Okay, and I use 50% of my long grain brown rice. Okay, so how do you cook your brown rice? A lot of times people will think about like, brown rice, it's very hard. It's not very nice, it's very hard to swallow. I don't like it. Okay, so how do you make your brown rice palatable? It's really, it boils down to how much water do you add, okay, when you're cooking your rice. Okay, so how do I prepare this rice today? I actually added 50% of white rice and 50% of brown rice. Let it soak in your rice cooker for at least 13 minutes. Okay, and in terms of the ratio of the water, each cup of rice, you'll require a cup of water. So here, I'm actually using 2.5 cups of rice. So I added 2.5 cups of water. Soak it for 30 minutes before you turn on the rice cooker to let it cook. Okay, even once your rice is done in the rice cooker, don't open up the lid immediately. Okay, let the steam further, soften the rice so that it becomes more palatable. Okay, so that's actually how you prepare your brown rice. Okay, hello Amanda, hello Winter Spring, hello Lily. Okay, so we have a question from Amanda. Normal rice can. Of course, you can choose to use your normal rice at home. It depends on what kind of rice you are using. But of course, we do encourage you to include brown rice instead of just 100% white rice. Okay, because white rice tend to have a higher glycemic index, which I'll talk a little bit about glycemic index later. It's really how these carbohydrates are being converted to glucose in your body and how it can actually cause a spike in your blood glucose level. Okay, so to answer your question, Amanda, okay, of course, you can use normal rice at home, but because we want to boost the nutritional value of our dish here, today we choose to use our brown rice mixed together with our white rice. Okay, so to prepare the rice, okay, your rice must be cooked and cooled. Okay, so you put on your glove. Okay, and make sure that you have some oil on your glove so that your rice do not stick to your glove. Okay, so here I'm actually using sunflower oil. So I'm just gonna dab a bit of the sunflower oil on my palm. Okay, so that my rice do not stick to my gloves later on. Okay, and then what you will do now, okay, is to grab a handful of rice. Okay, we are using approximately 75 grams of rice if you want to be really specific for each rice patty. Okay, why 75 grams of rice? Because one serving of rice is actually about 100 grams of cooked portion. Okay, so today we are using about 75 grams for each patty. Okay, so that makes about 1.5 servings of carbohydrate for a single sitting. Okay, so you just have to put, you just have to put a portion of rice like that on your palm. Okay, give it a really hard squeeze. Okay, so that it forms into a round shape. Okay, and then lightly flatten. Okay, with your hand, and you can actually put them into pan to pan fry. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how it looks like. Okay, so this is how your patty, okay, your rice patty will look like. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so you don't want it to be too thin. Okay, you want it to be slightly thick. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now that we are done with one patty, okay, we're gonna set them aside. Okay, and we're gonna move on to the next patty. Okay, so far it's really simple. Okay, so as I'm preparing the other rice patty, I'll talk a little bit about rice. Okay, so for those of you who are watching me live now, okay, could you just leave a comment? What kind of rice are you currently using at home? Okay, so just share with me what are some of the rice that you're commonly using at home. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about the different variety in a while. Okay. Okay. So now I'm done with my next patty. Okay, so just have to leave it aside. So you need to really like compact it so that it doesn't fall apart when you're pan frying later. Okay, so this is my second rice patty. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it aside. Okay, I'm gonna leave my rice aside as well. Okay, and now I'm gonna pan fry my rice patty. Okay, so we have some answers here. Brown rice, red rice, blended rice. Okay, nice. Okay, so let me just heat up my pan. Okay, so since my rice patty has already some oil coated around it, we don't really need that much oil in our pan. We really just need maybe half a teaspoon, okay, of oil, okay, just to make sure that it doesn't stick onto the pan too much later on. Okay, so once the pan is heated up, then we can actually put in our rice patties, okay, and let it cook until they are slightly golden brown. Okay, so as we're talking about rice, okay, so I hear some answers: red rice, normal white rice, basmati rice sometimes. Okay, so when you think about rice, okay, we need to understand that rice are categorized according to their length as well as their color. Okay, so length would mean, for example, short grain, medium grain, or long grain. So for those of you who are eating the normal rice at home, okay, those are considered our medium grain rice. Okay, for those of you who are eating basmati, okay, that's actually our long grain rice. Okay, and of course, we do have our short grain rice. These typically comes from things like, for example, in your use in Korean and Japanese dishes like your sushi, okay, or even like in risotto, okay, they are actually using this rice called the arborio, okay, and they also tend to be slightly shorter in their length. Okay, so what's the big deal about the different lengths, right? Okay, because the different length actually affects their glycemic index. Okay, so now my pan is slightly hot. Let me just put in my rice patty. Okay, so I put in my rice patty already, and I'm just going to continue with my explanation of rice. Okay, so as I've mentioned, different rice have different length. Different length have different glycemic index. So typically, if you're going for long grain rice, like basmati rice, or even usually basmati rice, okay, they're actually lower in their glycemic index as compared to maybe a medium grain rice or even a short grain rice. Okay, with that said, the other category of a rice boils down to their color. So you'll notice that a lot of your different answers, you have like white rice, you have like red rice, brown rice, purple rice, even black rice. Different color also represents, okay, how much processing they've been through. Okay, so typically for your white rice, they are called polished rice. Okay, polished rice basically means that they have the outer layer of their husk completely removed. Okay, that's why they are white in color. Okay, so typically for your white rice, they are considered high glycemic index. Meaning to say that when you're consuming your white rice, it actually increases your blood sugar level rather quickly. Okay, in comparison to your white rice, we do have brown rice and red rice. Okay, they are considered medium glycemic index. Okay, meaning to say that they would be a healthier option as compared to your regular white rice. Okay, and of course, the rice with the lowest glycemic index is actually your black rice. Okay, or in the past, people would know it as the forbidden rice. Okay, so black rice is considered lower glycemic index as compared to the other rice variety, okay, that I've mentioned earlier on. Okay, so this is actually just the basics of the rice. Okay, so for those of you, okay, who are eating basmati rice, common question that we get would be, is basmati rice healthier as compared to brown rice? Okay, and what do you think? Okay, do you think basmati rice is healthier or brown rice is healthier? Okay, leave a comment below and I'll disclose the answer to you shortly. Okay, so we have another question from Lily. Glutinous rice is medium length. Okay, it has higher GI than normal rice. Yes. Okay, so glutinous rice, you would know, glutinous rice are those that we typically use in desserts. For example, like your mango sticky rice. Okay, so glutinous rice are actually higher in their glycemic index. So as you know that when you cook your glutinous rice, it tends to become really sticky. It sticks all together. Okay, and that actually signify that they are higher in their glycemic index. So typically things like mango sticky rice or things like lo mai fan, which is like a glutinous rice that is made with like mushrooms, sausages, and things like that. They are actually the ones that are high in their glycemic index as well. Okay, so we have some answers. Okay, whether basmati rice is better or brown rice is better. So some of you said brown rice, some of you said basmati rice. Okay, so the answer is, it depends on whether your basmati rice is the polished basmati rice or is it the brown basmati rice. Okay, if you are going for the polished basmati rice, okay, brown rice is still a healthier option. However, if you go for the brown basmati rice, then it is actually comparable to your normal brown rice. Okay, so what we do try to recommend here is really more of the brown rice consumption, because their external husk has a lot of fiber, vitamins, and minerals which cannot be found in your polished rice. Okay, so if you really want the health benefits of your rice, okay, do go for those that are of a lower glycemic index, okay, and that includes our unpolished rice, be it brown rice, red rice, or black rice. Okay, so to answer all your questions, okay, between basmati and brown rice would still be a healthier option here. Okay, so now that my rice patty is slightly golden brown, okay, I'm just going to remove it from the pan and set it aside. Okay, this is just to show you how the rice patty looks like after it's been cooked. Okay, I'm just gonna take out the other rice patty. Okay, so now that my rice patty is done, okay, next what I'll be doing is that I'll be pan frying my vegetables. Okay, so here today we're gonna add some vegetables to our minced chicken. Okay, so we're gonna add in onions. Okay, so likewise, let's heat up our pan. Okay, add a little bit of oil and let us saute our onions. Okay. Okay, so my pan is still pretty hot from earlier on. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna add in my onions to saute. Okay, so we're gonna stir fry and saute our onions until they are slightly soft. Okay, once they are slightly soft, we're going to add in our carrots. Okay, carrots are actually good source of vitamin A and C, and it helps to add additional crunch to your chicken patty. Okay, and we are also going to use zucchini. Okay, and I believe Jolene has shared from her live session yesterday, okay, that zucchini actually belongs to the same family, okay, as the melons and the gourds, okay, and they are actually the same species as your pumpkin and your squashes. Okay, so after the onions have slightly softened, okay, what we'll do is that we're going to add in our carrots as well as our zucchini. Okay, we have other questions coming. Okay, which one has more benefits? Is it red rice or brown rice? Okay, so with regards to red rice and brown rice, okay, generally in terms of their fiber content, they are pretty much similar. Okay, but red rice, okay, because of their red in color, they have higher antioxidant called the anthocyanin, okay, which is the same plant chemical that gives your tomatoes, that gives your red bell peppers the red color. Okay, so in terms of these anthocyanin, they are definitely higher in terms of the red rice as compared to their brown rice. Okay, so at the end of the day, when we talk about rice, it boils down to the fiber content. So if you're looking for rice that's of high fiber content, both red rice and brown rice are good options here. Okay, but if you want the additional, antioxidant, then your red rice tends to have slightly higher antioxidant compound as compared to your brown rice. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Lily. Okay, so it also depends on the texture and the mouthfeel. So for me, I prefer to use brown rice over red rice. Okay, because red rice tends to be a little bit, the taste tends to be a little bit stronger. Okay, so for me, I really prefer to use brown rice over red rice. Okay, so it's up to your own preference, but both are still better options as compared to your fried rice. Okay, so we're just going to stir fry, okay, our vegetables a little before we mix them with the meat. Okay, the reason for this is because we don't want the vegetables to taste really raw. Okay, because when it's raw, it's not gonna go well really with the minced chicken. Okay, so we're just gonna stir fry for a little. Okay, and then we're gonna mix in with our minced chicken. Okay, and season it a little and before we can pan fry it. Okay, so we talked a little bit about zucchini. Okay, zucchini is very similar to your cucumber. They are often mistaken. Okay, so for cucumber, in terms of the taste, it tends to be a little bit milder in their flavor. And because of their high water content, they tend to be really crispy. They tend to be really cool and refreshing. So a lot of times, cucumber are being eaten raw. Okay, so whenever your recipe calls for, cooked ingredients, okay, we would prefer to use the zucchini instead of the cucumber. Why? Because zucchini, okay, in terms of their flavor, they are slightly sweeter, okay, even though they might have a slightly bitter aftertaste, but cooking a zucchini actually helps to sweeten the zucchini even further. Okay, so zucchini is often used for cooked dishes, whereas cucumber is often used in raw dishes. Okay, and of course, on top of that, zucchini has slightly higher nutrient content, okay, as compared to your cucumber. Okay, zucchini has slightly higher fiber, protein, vitamins, as well as potassium. Okay, so now that our vegetables are cooked, okay, partially cooked, we're just gonna mix them into our minced meat. Okay, so I've added them to my minced meat. Okay, so now what I'll do is that I will season my minced meat. Okay, so what do we require for the seasoning? Okay, we'll require about half an egg. Okay, half a beaten egg. Okay, that is actually to help to bind our patty together. Okay, so just half a portion. Okay, and we're going to use about half a teaspoon of our sesame oil. Okay, and we're gonna use about 1 teaspoon of mirin. Mirin is basically a sweet wine. Okay, so that actually helps to, sweeten the patty a little. Okay, so it makes a difference if you add just a little bit of this mirin. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to have a little bit of pepper and salt to taste. Okay, so as you can see, I've not added in salt so far. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in a pinch of salt for my minced meat. Okay, and here I'm just gonna add in a pinch of salt. Okay, so when everything is done, okay, you can put on your gloves again. Okay, and then give your patty a good mix, and then we are going to pan fry it. Okay, so while we wait, okay, while we mix our patty, we're just going to heat up our pan. Okay, put in a little bit more oil. Okay, and let's shape our patty. Okay, I have some questions here. Can I replace mirin with honey? Okay, if you want to use honey, you can, but because honey is slightly more concentrated in their flavor, you don't really need 1 teaspoon. So if you're using honey, I would suggest maybe just half a teaspoon of honey would actually be sufficient already. Okay, so that's the answer you were bringing. Okay. Okay, so now that my minced meat is actually all well mixed up, okay, as you can see, it's quite colorful. Okay, we're just going to add them to our pan. Okay, so you just have to, okay, use your gloves and shape it up slightly. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for the pan to be slightly hotter before I add in my chicken patty. Okay, because I want the heat to create that sizzling sound. Okay, so that your patty can be cooked, but at the same time still juicy. Okay, I don't want to put in the pan for too long. Okay, so now that my pan is slightly more heated up, okay, I'm just going to put in my patty. Okay, as you can hear the sizzling sound, okay, coming from the patty itself. Okay, so I put in my patty already. Okay, so I'm not gonna touch it. Okay, I'm just gonna make it slightly rounder by the sides. Okay, but I'm not gonna touch it because I want the bottom to be really golden brown before I flip over to the other side. Okay, so talking about minced chicken, okay, again for minced chicken, always go for the lean options. So if you go to the supermarket, okay, there are options. If you look at the packaging of the minced chicken, you would see some with more of the white solid fats. Okay, so try to go for those with less of the white solid fats. Okay, because those white solid fats that you see there are actually your saturated fat that is bad for health. Okay, so if you can, always go for the trimmed and the lean version of this minced chicken. Okay, just one portion of minced chicken like that. Okay, we have also portioned out. Each person is about 75 grams of this minced chicken. That will help you to obtain about 12 grams of protein in a day already. Okay, so a very simple dish like that actually gives you your carbohydrate from the rice. Okay, gives you your protein from the patty, and you get your vegetables that are hidden in the patty itself, and also vegetables because we're gonna add in some of our butterhead lettuce later on. Okay, so if you have children at home, this is actually one simple way, okay, to hide your vegetables, okay, and to make them eat it. Okay, if no children, they tend to pick up the vegetables. You can even, slightly blend them, okay, so that they don't really see it and it's not quite possible for them to take it out. Okay, so a very simple dish like that is really very balanced and very complete. Okay, what you are lacking is really just a fruit, okay, to go along with this meal, okay, after you have eaten the burger. Okay, so I'm just going to let it cook for another 2 more minutes, okay, before I flip it over to the other side. Okay, in the meantime, do you all still have any more questions with regards to today's recipe or with regards to rice? Yes, okay, so it's a good idea if you have leftover rice in your fridge. Okay, we always use leftover rice for fried rice. Okay, but today you learn something different, you learn something new. Okay, apart from using the leftover rice for fried rice, you can actually use it to cook this rice burger patty as well. Okay, so that's another idea for you, Chelsea. Okay, so we have another question from Lily. Can I replace minced chicken with tau to make it meatless? Okay, of course you can. Okay, you can replace the minced meat with tau. Okay, but because tau tends to be a little bit drier, you might need to add slightly more egg okay, to help to gel all your ingredients together. Alright, but that is possible, really. Okay, so I'm just gonna give my patty a flip. Okay, and just let it cook for a bit longer on the other side. Okay, so we have some other questions. Okay, can I add in water chestnut to give the patty a bit more crunch? Yes, of course you can. Okay, not only water chestnut, if you want to add things like corn, if you want to add things, other ingredients, okay, you can feel free to do so to give it a little bit more crunch. Okay. Okay, so my patty is done. Okay, I'm just gonna flip it up for you to see. Okay, so it's slightly golden brown on the top. Okay, and you can still see the smoke. Okay, so now that it's done, okay, I'm just going to assemble my burger together. Okay, so to assemble our burger, okay, we will take our rice earlier on. Okay, so we have our rice. Okay, put it right at the bottom. Okay, and on top of the rice, we're just gonna put 2 pieces of our butterhead lettuce. Okay. And next, we're gonna top it up with our patty. Okay, let's just let me assemble the Okay, so it looks something like that. As you can see, we have the first layer right at the bottom, the rice patty. Okay, and then we have our lettuce, and then we have our pan-fried chicken patty. Okay, so at this point of time, if you want to add a little bit of teriyaki sauce right at the top, you can do so. Okay, so here I have a little bit of teriyaki sauce, so I'm just gonna add just a little bit right at the top. Okay, so not too much, maybe about half to 1 teaspoon. Okay, because my meat patty is really quite flavorful by its own. Okay, and then you top it up with the other rice patty. Okay, so this is how it would look like. Okay, a very healthy, okay, and a very balanced and a delicious pan-fried chicken patty burger. Okay, rice burger. Okay, so some other suggestions include adding tau hua with prawn cubes. Yes, you can do that as well. Okay, definitely, it's really up to your own, personal preference and up to your own creativity. Okay, so now as you can see, this is our completed, okay, pan-fried chicken rice burger. Okay, I'm just going to have it. Okay, and I'm just gonna try it in front of you. Okay. Okay, the meat is still really quite juicy. Okay, it's really still quite juicy. And the rice, okay, because the rice we have not added any seasoning. If you want it to be slightly more fragrant, you can always add black sesame seeds. Okay, when you are mixing the rice together, because black sesame seeds are really fragrant. Okay, and it will give your dish here an additional twist. Okay, but I couldn't find black sesame seeds in the supermarket. Okay, so I didn't manage to add them in today. But on your own, you can actually add in black sesame seeds, okay, to make it slightly more fragrant and more palatable. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed today's session, okay, on how to make your very own pan-fried chicken rice burger. Okay, so now you know what to do with leftover rice. You can have other options apart from just frying them. Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of today's session. If you have still other questions, any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Okay, and we will see you again. I will see you again on Wednesday. And tomorrow, Jolene will be teaching you how to prepare some of the healthier chicken marination. Okay, so stay tuned and come back again tomorrow at 12:30. Okay, so if you haven't already downloaded Telegram and subscribe to our Telegram channel, Healthy SG, please do, because that's where we're going to include the recipes up there. Okay, so till then, stay safe and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye!